Community Connection on KGNB, brought to you by Waters International Realty.
My name is Paige Green. We are here with Kim Francis, the Executive Director of ServSpot for your Community Connection. Kim, how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me today.
It's wonderful to have you on Community Connection. So tell me about your role as Executive Director of ServSpot.
Sure. So we started this a few years ago, just out of a need that was brought up to us and a bunch of pastors in New Braunfels, where we had pastors working together and saying, what more can we do for our community as a group? So we went to the nonprofits and said, what do you need? And they said, well, we actually need a directory of all of the nonprofits in town. That would be super helpful. And then also this volunteer portal where people can go and not feel so overwhelmed to volunteer. We know that that can be awesome if you want to go volunteer, but where do you start? And so we're working on making sure that that is an easy process in New Braunfels. So my job is to help make sure that that happens through our website and our team and our board. And it all actually got started through Big Serve Weekend, which comes every October.
And how long has ServSpot been around?
So the actual organization started right around COVID, actually. We started talking about it in 2019 and got it launched about the fall of 2020. So ServSpot is the organization, servspot.org is the website. But we've actually been serving the community since about 2014 through Big Serve, and that started very small in 2014 with one congregation serving one nonprofit, and then more churches decided to join forces, and it just kept growing, and it turned into ServSpot.
So you're mentioning the Big Serve, and that's kind of how this all originated as, and now it's an annual weekend event. What is the Big Serve Weekend?
So Big Serve is our citywide volunteer days. It is once a year where we have thousands of volunteers who go out and serve. Last year we had over 30 nonprofits and agencies that we helped at about 60 sites all over town. So it's kind of this easy on-ramp for people to say, oh, everybody's volunteering, I want to do it too, and to help folks to feel a little more comfortable maybe serving the rest of the year. You're getting an introduction to a nonprofit and what they do and how it's not that hard to get involved.
And ServSpot is about helping the nonprofits and organizations in the community. What are some of these nonprofits, or are they all New Braunfels based? What are some of the details?
Sure. We have about 100 on our directory, and we know there's more. So we're happy to add more if people say, hey, you're missing my nonprofit or my favorite. But we know of about 100 right now that we are serving that are mostly New Braunfels, as well as Comal County. And there are a few on there that we know it's a service that's needed in town, but you might have to go to San Antonio if you need that assistance. So we have, Crisis Center, First Footing, the Food Bank, you name it, they're there, and we help them find volunteers. We serve them during Big Serve, and we try and help connect the needs and the resources in town so that those nonprofits can function well and have the resources that they need to help all of our neighbors.
So what are some of the long-term goals of ServSpot to help New Braunfels?
Sure. Well, one of our big goals, since it did start with local congregations, is to actually unite the church. So one of our things is that we are here to unite the church to transform New Braunfels. So our goal is to bring hope and healing to all parts of New Braunfels. We believe that everybody has a role to play in restoring some of the broken things that are in all of our society and our community. So whether that's, physically fixing someone's broken fence or working on a relationship that may be broken, systemic things that we have seen that are broken, emotional needs, we believe that everybody has a role to play in fixing something and restoring something in New Braunfels. And so we're trying to bring that opportunity to everyone in our community. So we do that through things like Big Serve, through offering some educational opportunities where they can learn more about the actual things that are happening in New Braunfels and how they can be a part of that. And then also, as I mentioned, trying to unite the church, because the church, there's 80 congregations in town, and we say there's 80 congregations, but there's one church. And so if we can all work together toward bringing hope and healing to our community, we feel we will be way more effective than if each of these congregations tries to do a little. We say 1 + 1 is way more than 2. And so if we can get people working together and connecting the dots, they'll feel a little less overwhelmed by some of the issues in town, and we can be more effective in making some changes and bringing some joy and hope.
Kim, what I'm learning is ServSpot is all about volunteering and community participation. Where can people learn about volunteering through ServSpot to help some of these nonprofits and organizations?
Sure. So servspot.org is our website. You can find information there about the Big Serve, about our 12 partner congregations in town. We also have on there that we have just partnered with the Heritage Society to rebuild the very first church building that was ever built in New Braunfels. So there's information there as well. And that website, servspot.org, also has the directory of our nonprofits. If you're looking for help, you can search by keyword there and find a nonprofit who might help you. And then also it has our volunteer portal. So we have hundreds of opportunities for folks to get involved with actual needs that our nonprofits have told us they need. So that could be tutoring, driving for Meals on Wheels, being a volunteer dentist, or, just breaking some leaves. So all kinds of things for anyone from 5 to 95. We have got ways on servspot.org for people to get involved.
You mentioned this, and I was just about to ask. ServSpot, the website, is not also for volunteering, but you can also use the directory to help find services if you are in need or some of the services that these organizations provide. So that directory does both as well.
Correct, yes. So, yes, you can volunteer or you can find help. If you're looking for a tutor, if you need some food assistance, if you need help paying rent or your electric bill, there are resources on there that will help guide you through that process and bring help and restoration.
Now, is ServSpot hosting any upcoming events, or is there any events that the community should know about?
Yeah, actually, one coming up in May. It's called the Jesus Response. And so we're partnering with the Guadalcanal Disaster Alliance and doing a free event. It's an hour and a half at McKenna on May 16th, but it's helping to prepare the church for when the unthinkable strikes the community. So we know that there are thousands of folks who walk through the doors of a church on a Sunday morning, and we want those churches to be a safe space, and we want those churches to be ready should disaster strike the building, the people there, and also we want them to work as a team to should disaster or when disaster strikes our community. So if there's a flood or a tornado, we want the church to be ready to go out and serve and be helpful and be that friendly, knowledgeable face that is out there helping. So that's a free event for church staff, elders, volunteers, just a service that we're trying to provide to help our church leaders do their job a little simpler, have this free information available to them to be prepared for when disaster strikes.
Very relevant as we're getting into the storm season. Have been seeing a lot of showers and thunderstorms recently.
Mm-hmm.
So where can people go to find information about this event and as well as the Big Serve coming later this year?
Yeah, so that information is right on our main page, so servspot.org. And easy, you can find information there about Big Serve as well, or you can go to bigservenb.org. Also takes you to our page, but just an easier one to remember, bigservenb.org.
And there was also something big that ServSpot was a part of. It's a book called Love Our Cities. Can you tell me about how that opportunity came up?
Sure, yeah, that's pretty exciting. That book just was released this month in April, and it is Love Our Cities is an organization that we have become a part of in the last few years. When we started doing Big Serve and these citywide volunteer days, we didn't know that there were other cities doing the same thing. So when we learned about Love Our Cities, we joined forces with them and learned from over 100 different cities, both in our country as well as outside of our country, who are doing similar things and trying to help their communities by bringing people together both on service days and throughout the year. And so we've been a part of that for several years. And the cool thing is they asked us to submit. There's about 8 cities that are highlighted in this book, and New Braunfels and Surfspot are highlighted in this book. We have about 6 pages all about New Braunfels and our community and what's happening through Surfspot and bringing people together to bring hope and healing.
Where can people buy this book?
Sure, they can go to loveourcities.org, or they can search it on Amazon. It's there as well. The book is called Love Our Cities.
Kim, is there anything you would like to add about Surfspot?
Well, if folks want to get involved, always you can go find a volunteer opportunity on our site. If you have heard about some of these events and want some more information or want to be a partner congregation, they can send me an email, kim@surfspot.org. And I just hope everyone can also just realize that we see so many things in our world that are tough and frustrating, and sometimes we go, I don't know what I can do. What Surfspot loves is that we show people that they're not alone in helping, and that if everybody does a little bit, so much more can be accomplished, and there can be great change and hope that is brought to our community.
Well, it's been a wonderful time speaking with you today, Kim. Kim Francis, the Executive Director of Surfspot. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. I'm so happy to talk to you, Paige.